Hello, everyone. Welcome to another podcast. We have Stella Wembley on the show again. She's a graduate from the Conservatorio di Musica San Pietro a Mejella. Did I say it right?
Yeah, yeah,
Of,
amazing, fantastic.
of Naples. And she's
Mhm,
she's a rising star of the UK Dark Synth Gothic scene,
mhm,
as we know.
mhm.
She's an accomplished music producer, video director, composer, lyricist, multifaceted musician, and truly exceptional vocalist. With her captivating take on the genre, Stella leads listeners into a haunted realm, and we're even close to Halloween as well. Haunted realm, laying bare her soul through powerful and evocative deep lyrics. Her music is a psychodrama of tragedy and melancholic sensuality, singing powerfully yet with a hint of vulnerability. A visionary artist, Stella defies description and continues to enchant audience worldwide. Welcome, Stella. Thank you for being here on the podcast. It's your second
Thank you very
time.
much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. That was a fantastic introduction. Yeah.
You're very welcome. I'm so happy to see a bright smile this morning. So, for
Mm,
people that don't know who Stella Wembley is, what
mm.
inspired you to pursue a career in the dark synth goth music scene? Can you go back to the beginning for us?
So I started, I believe, 17 years ago, and so it's been a long journey. What has inspired me actually it was to inspire others. So a bit like a vocation, a mission for others. Obviously, there was the love for music that I had since I was a child, and since I was a child, since I was 5, 8 years old, I don't even remember. I was really, really young. I was writing poetry. I was writing songs, and I was told this by my parents at the time that I used to write songs, that I used to write poetry, and I don't really come from a family with a strong musical background, even though my mother was a painter, so she was an artist. She's not with me anymore, so she passed away, unfortunately. That's another story. So they told me that I was really into art. So even though there was no musicians in the family, no one that I could actually see playing or that could inspire me, something from inside me told me that that was the way. So I think I followed that intuition, and creating something, creating art, creating music. It was something special for me. It always made me feel better and disconnecting from the reality and connecting to another reality, something that we cannot see. That's what it was magical about. And I think that is what also makes it special, during my live shows and when I perform and when I write songs and when I also produce music and release music, is that there is the magic for myself and there is the magic for the audience as well, so they can follow me in that magical world, that I create. And so yeah, it's very magical. It's definitely something different from the ordinary job, you know and so that was one of the reasons. Obviously, I always been very musically inclined, so writing songs is very easy for me. It's like I write songs even while I sleep, I say, because sometimes I wake up in the night, during the night, and I just write, and that's how a song sometimes is born. And yeah, so it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey, ups and downs. Uh, but I'm really happy uh, right now where I am today. And I started as a musician and I ended up being something else, something more than that. So yeah, I am even happier. And as I said, I hope to inspire others. And obviously, when I do shows and there is the magic with the audience and we create something special together, that's the most powerful thing. And also with my lyrics, I just don't write about myself. I also write about others' feelings. So others may find in my lyrics comfort, or they may just understand what I'm talking about, and that's how we create a community, and that's how we make a difference in the music industry and hopefully in the world.
We
Yeah.
love how you channel your passion for empowerment and leadership through diverse entrepreneurial ventures, one including the creation of your own brand and clothing line, which is
Hmm.
great. And you're
Yeah.
passionate about other things, the dark poetry, occult, exploring the mysteries of the unseen, while expressing unique style through Gothic fashion, music, and modeling. Are you successful with the clothing brand? You get a lot of people wanting the clothing, and
Yeah, actually, no, that's amazing because I never thought that I could become a fashion icon, but actually I did after the after putting so much effort in my YouTube channel, which now has 2009 2900, I think. It's over, anyways, over 2000 subscribers.
yeah,
I think 2900 subscribers. Yeah. So a lot of them. And then after putting so much effort and finally monetizing also that, um, actually the weirdest thing happened, that what really made the channel successful wasn't a music video. It was a video, a photo shoot video with my photos, basically, what I was wearing, my clothing, so something that I created by myself, with my vision, with my intention, my idea of Gothic fashion that is behind, obviously my music. So they kind of go together. So that video went viral, with 106,000 views. And after that I thought, well, maybe I should go, on that way, because actually I always been into fashion, and I really like the fact that I can express myself through clothing, jewelry, um, and yeah, clothing, and especially accessories, like, these bracelets I made it myself. Also this necklace, it's handmade. And and not only, the clothing, actually, that it went so well. I think there are only a few t-shirts left on my website, so it went very well. And it's a design that I made by myself, so I created the design. I create, the everything, on the laptop with the softwares that I use, like Photoshop and other things. And then obviously, there is the magic of the inspiration. I don't know where it comes from. It just comes from somewhere else. And so yes, it's been quite successful. And actually, recently I have sold my merchandise at the Leeds Alternative Market, which is a market where you can purchase all of these alternative clothing, alternative stuff, alternative things. So that went quite well. And I also created not just a clothing line, but also a jewelry line. So I'm selling necklaces and bracelets that I have, made by myself. And the idea is to have these luxurious, but like um, luxurious, but very inspired by um, Byzantine style. So not like Gothic, modern Gothic. So that's the idea of having something luxurious, something that women can wear and feel like they are beautiful and powerful every day, and wealthy and rich. But not just, for women. Obviously, it's also for men, or maybe if you want to, make a gift to someone there is also an option, to buy the jewelry. I think I have it right here. Um, and see, I also have these tags with the brand, the name of the brand. And obviously, they come in these organza bags. So this is what I have created, my last creation. And obviously there are the posters and the art cards as well, and obviously, the physical copies of music that I have recently released. So that's been going quite well. And I really hope to have like a collaboration with a brand, with other brands, with clothing lines, and perhaps I can sponsor them. I can, yeah, I can have a collaboration. So that would be interesting to do as well.
Yeah, and we'll link everything down below, including a link to your brand, and that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Um, can you tell us about your experience at the Conservatorio de Musica San Pietro la Maggiore of Naples?
Yes. So it would be Conservatorio, yes, of Music, San Pietro a Maiella of Naples. My experience, well, it was great. It was fantastic because I learned obviously about the technique, so the singing, my piano skills as well. They come from there. I'm not a pianist, but I am classically trained, so um, it was great in terms of learning how to master my skills, and I learned about discipline, obviously, um, and it was great for me. It was great for me in that sense. Obviously, there were ups and downs. It wasn't always easy. I had to study a lot. I had to make sacrifices.
Yeah,
Um, so, while everyone was, thinking about, when I was 17, I think 17, 18, when everyone was thinking about going out and having fun and all these things, I was studying. But it was, for me, it was fun. It wasn't like a burden. So it wasn't, of course, it was a sacrifice in that way, because I couldn't see, anyone. I couldn't see my friends, or I couldn't do other things. But it was great because I could spend time, with the things that I love, which was music, and also for a bigger purpose, in life. That I think life is more than just going out and having fun. There has to be something more than that. So that was great. And actually, I'll tell you that the final, when I finally graduated, um, and I had my diploma, I didn't think that that was going to be that important, to have like a very big diploma, and I also frame it. It's fantastic. I wish I could show you, but it's downstairs, and it's also very kind of big and heavy. So, anyways, I didn't really understand how that was important until recently, until 2 months ago, actually. Um, as I started my career as a teacher, as a singing teacher, and I couldn't have uh, I don't think I could have got that job if I didn't have the qualification. So actually, that qualification um, was really useful for me, and I'm actually quite happy and proud of that, and enjoying the fact, that I can teach and inspire others, especially the new generation, and that I can share my knowledge, and inspire others, really. So that
yeah,
was it was great. I mean, I feel really really grateful, to have, studied there and had that opportunity. So definitely was fantastic. But obviously, I keep studying, and I studied, I'm still studying. I'm always studying. I'm reading books regarding singing, regarding music, and so you never stop learning, right? So
I know, and I'm tempted to
Yeah,
take a podcaster's course because there must be more I can learn than what I've learned the last 4 years. Because 5 years ago, I was going, podcasts and get the new iPhone. What is this? Podcasting? Delete, edit,
yeah.
remove. I hate podcasting. And then suddenly I got into it. I'm like, hey, where's that icon? Podcast, yes. And I was all into it and everything. I said, why don't I start my own? So here we are. So but you can always learn something new, and you can always get people reaching out to you and saying, "How do you do what you do?" Um, like for you, how do you approach the process of composing and producing your music? Like, for instance, your new song, "It's Okay, I'm Okay." I'd like you to break that down. How did you
Hmm.
come up with the lyrics? How did you manage to come up with melody? Because you said that you write yourself, so you must have written this one yourself, right?
No, actually, no. That was a cover, but I find very, very interesting the fact that many persons, like yourself, don't even notice that that's a cover. They wouldn't notice that because that's so different from the original, that you really couldn't tell. I mean, not even, I don't think that even YouTube recognize the original. Once I posted, when I posted as a music video, it didn't recognize it as the original song. Obviously, I've released it, so maybe that's why. But sometimes when you release a cover, you don't have the all the copyrights. So sometimes on YouTube that happens. But I think that with that cover, because it was so different from the original, um, yeah, some people didn't even notice that was a cover. So it is a cover by Tate McRae, who is a pop icon nowadays. So she has started as a dancer actually, but now is more like a pop pop icon, singer, a bit similar like Britney Spears. So I took that song, which obviously was a pop song, and I made it on my way dark wave, sort of dark wave, mysterious, um, very sensual. Instead of having those very loud beats. So the original song is very loud with very loud beats, very pop. It's very obvious. I would say it's very obvious. It's a very common and obvious arrangement. Even though it's a great, it's a great arrangement. I'm not saying that it's not good. I'm just saying it's kind of obvious. Um, and I just wanted to make something different, more mysterious. So I took the lyrics, which obviously are about is about a relationship that ends up, and so it's about a breakup. And instead of seeing the whole lyrics, the whole song with the original meaning, which is, I'm fine, without this man, I'm fine without this person, and I can, just move on, and I'm totally fine by myself. I am actually saying the opposite thing. So I'm saying, on some verses, actually, I'm saying, yes, I'm fine, I'm totally fine. I'm fine by myself, I feel fine, I feel free, I feel powerful. But other times you can hear the melancholy and the sadness. And so you actually don't know if the message is that you're fine, or if the message is that you're fine but you're not. Do you know what I'm saying? So is I wanted to have something that it wasn't obvious, so that could actually be more interesting, for the audience, and also, yeah, just to express my sensuality, um, and just be very sexy, which is something that I don't think that I have done enough in the past, and I wanted to express that side of myself, and and so to be very unapologetic and just do it my way, instead of copying someone else. I mean, Tate McRae, she's sexy in that video, but that's not how I am sexy. So every woman can be sexy in a different way. And so that's how I see that, that song. And obviously I have also kind of rearranged, well, I rearranged the whole thing. So there are I think a few synthesizer lines that I played, and I have removed a few verses, so I have also kind of um, recreate, the lyrics. So I have removed a few lyrics, so it's not, the structure is different. And I have recorded obviously the lyrics, the vocals by myself. I have mastered the song, and I also added a remix, which is a minimal remix. So there are two versions of the song. And the minimal remix is more, I would say, well, there is less going on, so it's definitely, it reaches the audience straight away. So it's definitely mm, something that you will maybe play um, maybe on the back, on the background, and you would definitely understand, what the singer, is talking about. Whereas the other one, there are more things going on in the arrangement. So maybe that would be more radio friendly, I would say. The minimal remix is probably more underground. And yes, I do have physical copies of that, and I would encourage everyone to grab a copy until it's possible, because I sold out the first 25 that I had, and I restocked them, and I am selling again, these copies on my website. I think now there are only 10 left. So yesterday there were 10. So I would encourage everyone to get a copy, because they are actually selling very fast. Um, and also, I don't know if you know this, but with the CD, there is also a fantastic art card, and there is also the possibility for the fans to get unlimited and lifetime access to a VIP page where I post all my photo shoots and everything, that a fan can see. For example, an earlier, video I posted there. So it's a bit like a membership page, but you don't have to pay for it. I mean, you just pay for the CD and the art card basically, and then you can access to this page with a password forever. So it's actually a great deal.
Cool. So, Stella, what themes and emotions do you aim to convey through your lyrics?
Hmm. I would say mystery for sure. So mystery, love, obsession, beauty, sadness, melancholy, um, also mm, hope as well. Also hope, depending on the songs. Every song is different. So I never have like a song. I never have like the same type of song. So it's always different when it comes, to production and to songwriting. But I would say, yeah, that's how I was told. I was told every song that you write is different. But I would say mysticism and mystery, and something something that keeps the audience, in awe. And I don't think you can even like describe, how my music it is. It's just depending, on the person, obviously, because everyone um, wants to understand, a different thing, obviously, So if I am listening to a song, it will definitely mean something slightly different if you are listening to the same song, I think. But I was told by the audience that my songs definitely are very mystical, very um, sensual, and they convey as well. Sometimes they convey sadness, sometimes they they convey hope, and are also very dreamy, very dreamy. Yeah. So there is for sure the because I am a dreamer, so I believe that if we can if we can see something in our mind, and if we believe in something, we actually will achieve that. So for sure there is a part of myself in the in the songwriting that is saying you can dream, you can have a dream and you will actually achieve that dream if you believe in yourself. So there is also empowerment, especially with the last song, and wasting my time as well, so that was very empowering. And being yourself, being unapologetic, do not conform to any sort of society, society rules, or do not be part of any sort of group. Just be yourself. So that would be, the message is freedom, believing in freedom. So, and that's actually what I wanted for myself, and what I think that everyone should aim, not just in music, is to be able to be free, you know so finding something in your life that can give you freedom. It doesn't really matter what it is, it's just, I think that freedom is the most important thing. So yeah, so if a song, if a song that I write makes others people feeling like they are free and they have power, and they are not in a cage, and they can actually express themselves, then I'm happy. I think that I have made a difference in this world. So that's more important for me uh, than writing a song just because it's gonna get popular, and it doesn't mean anything. Maybe it's just on a surface is good, but then it doesn't have any meaning, right?
Yeah, I agree with that, Stella. Especially with the music video "All That I Need." Now, what was your vision for the music video, and how did you bring it to life?
So I think the music video was actually, yeah, that was my first music video. And interesting that happens like magic, because I never kind of I never thought that it was gonna get that popular, because I think it's like 10,000 views, but I never promoted it. I never really hired a company or anything like that to do that. So it was just all my work, all my idea. And it started, really, it was just like magic. I've written this song many years ago, so way before the video, way before that. And and after like 4 or 5 years, I met this man, and he was very charming. And well, I am very charming too, so I think we were kind of very similar in a way, different but similar. It's hard to explain. So we had things in common. Obviously, it didn't work out. That's how you see in the video. If people are interested in seeing the video, there is a very, I would say, emblematic scene, a very significant scene where you can see me bleeding, and there is this man that is carrying me, and I'm bleeding. And obviously that's a reference to one of the Gothic horror movies. I am actually a fan of them, and I think is probably one of the, yeah, it's one of the British Gothic horror movies. I think it's probably the Bride of Dracula, if I'm not mistaken. But it's an artwork of one of the movies that was released. Um, so there are plenty of them. So I have, of course, that was, that inspired me. But that's, very, um, yeah, it's a very strong scene that you see. And obviously in my songs, especially when I write about love, there is pain, but there is also love. So obviously there is no light without darkness. So unfortunately, when we have something like love, we also can have pain. And so it's very interesting and intriguing how I came up, with the whole video and all, the scenes that I have, I've been drawing all of the scenes, and I had them in my mind. It was like a movie, and then it just happened. I have obviously I had to hire the actors, and I hired the video maker, Riccardo Cavani, a fantastic filmmaker, and then everything just played out as I wanted, as I had in my mind. Obviously, I had to organize and plan that uh, for some time, but everything was very smooth. So it didn't quite feel like an effort for me to do that. Yeah, but obviously, it's a song about it's a love song, but it's also a song about life and death. So love and pain, breakup, life and death, um, afterlife, I would say, and magic, mysticism, horror, gothic. Um, yeah, yeah, that's about that. Yeah.
So, how do you balance being a music producer, video director, and musician? You got to be conscious of your mental health as well, you know?
Yeah, sometimes it's quite difficult, to balance everything for an artist. I would say, I hear that quite a lot, that it's difficult. Um, how do I do? Well, when I feel like it's a bit too much for me, I take a break. Like just recently, I took a break from the social media platforms. I think I will be back in the next few days, but I took a break and I went for a spa day, and it was really, really nice, very relaxing. It was amazing. So I treat myself like a queen. See my crown, let me adjust my crown. Yeah, there you go. So that's what I do. When I feel that it's too much, I take a break and I treat myself. I love myself first. I prioritize my self-care, and I go, as I said, for a spa day or for a massage. Take a warm bath with sea salts and a fantastic um, sea salt that I have from, I think it's a Himalayan salt. And so that's what I do. Or like I eat my favorite cake that I make. So yeah, that's basically what I do. And what else? Let me think. Um, Sometimes I read as well. I read books that can help me understand better myself and the world, if it makes sense. For example, actually, I think I have it here. It's a book. It's a book about power. So it's called the 40 Laws of Power.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you ever heard of this before. No,
No, not really.
not really. Okay. So
No, it's
it's by Robert Greene. It's very interesting.
what is it
So,
about?
sorry?
What is it about?
So it's actually about how to become more powerful and successful in society. And it gives you 48 laws. Okay, and according to these laws, you you should become more successful, more powerful, and have more control, um, over others people, and yeah, be successful, be more respected, um, feeling more valued, be more appreciated by others. So there are like tactics, so if I feel like, that I feel a bit unbalanced or is a bit too much, or I just really try to learn more about myself and also more about society, and because sometimes it's very hard to deal with others. But even though, I have some some moments where I feel down, like 3 days ago, was it 3 days ago? A few days ago, anyways. Yeah, 3, 4 days ago. I had a very mm, let's just say I had an argument with this collaborator, okay, and then I fired him, okay, because he behaved very very badly, and that really, I was feeling very down, okay, so that had an impact on my mental health, because for like a day
Mm,
I couldn't really function, I couldn't work. I mean, I didn't want to work, And that's
mm,
the point. It's not that I couldn't, I didn't want to. So when something like that happens, when these these issues, these difficulties, arise, what I think we should do, or at least what I think, what I believe, that would be helpful, because it works for me anyways, is to just take a deep breath and know that you can put some space, between yourself and others. So uh, it's just really about knowing that nothing else, can really affect you if you don't allow that to affect you, if it makes sense. So, for instance, if I am, I just say, yeah, arguing, with someone else, then maybe I am upset for a day, but then I just move on. Okay, I just move on. I think, okay, what's next? So there would be like another person, coming, or because there are always challenges, always challenges in life. So I never quit. I always think that I that's an experience for me, that I can learn from that. So it doesn't really put me down. It helps me to be even stronger. Okay, so yeah, that's actually what I do. When I feel like something is wrong, um, something that has upset me, I move on. I just move on, and that's a superpower I think that I developed with time. Being in this industry. Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean, Stella. When, especially, I've recently had two heartbreaks, and one of them I didn't want to move on. I didn't want to do podcasts. I didn't want to go to work, whatever. But I'm steadily crawling out of that ground. Now, we all suffer this, and we all learned something from it. With you, what are some challenges you face when creating and producing your music?
Challenging. Let's see. So I think the most challenging thing is really to do everything, multitasking. But I'm really kind of capable of doing that. So I'm actually really good at multitasking, if it makes sense, because I write my own songs, I produce the songs, I master the songs, I do the videos, so I film the videos, I edit the videos, I do everything, and obviously, I also send, the merchandise, I do all the editing by myself, as I said. I do the design for the merchandise. I think about the vision of the brand, and I schedule, meetings and live performances and all of these things. So I would say the most difficult thing is to keep track of all of these things. But as a CEO and entrepreneur, I learned, during these years how to do that. So I always have like an agenda. Obviously, I have an agenda where I write everything down. And I try to not actually, this is something that maybe can help others. Okay. um I learned to let go of perfectionism. So I always been a perfectionist, which is good. It's good to have high standards, and it's good to push yourself, obviously. If you don't do that, I don't think you can achieve great things.
Mm.
But I think that, especially for the listeners, um, we have so much pressure, especially from the social media, with all of this, fake accounts,
Mm.
fake, like, robots and all of these things. Everything is becoming really fake. You don't even know what is real.
Mm-hmm.
So especially young people, the young ones, they have this wrong wrong image of what beauty should be. And I'm not just talking about, like, physical, okay, physical characteristics, also like beauty, like music, okay. Like, there is AI that does music, all of these things, so everything sounds perfect, it sounds kind of the same. There is no soul in that. So I think the soul is the most important thing. The imagination, the idea. Obviously, the context and the vision, that's something more, that adds to that. But the most important thing is, the idea. So when I let go of the fact, that if something is not perfect, I can live with that. And because the demon of, like, I call it the demon of procrastination, is much worse. So if you procrastinate because something, is not exactly as you want it to be, I don't think that you can achieve in life something, because nothing is perfect. So I think doing things on a schedule, and do not procrastinate. That's that's a tip, for everyone, that maybe wants to, have a business, or that is, in the music industry. So I do have, like, a call option on my website. If there are, like, emergent artists that need some sort of information, or help or support, they can actually book a session with me.
That's awesome. Because you spent 16, 17 years in the music industry, so that's something that you can do because you've experienced it, especially newcomers who never been in the music industry. You can share your,
Mhm.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but
what I can, if I can help, obviously I am more than happy to help others. I mean, why not? I think
yeah,
there is enough competition going on in the music industry, and so it would be good, to have more cooperation and less competition, between musicians, between artists. Don't you agree? More
yeah,
cooperation,
yeah,
less
yeah,
competition.
I totally agree. So, but what do you think of artificial intelligence, AI music generation like Suno, Udio, and creating music using either your voice or someone's voice? Like, would you ever use AI to
I
do a
think I'm gonna
song?
kill myself. I
Yeah.
think I would kill myself if someone uses my face or my voice to do something.
Use Bohemian Rhapsody by Stella Wembley. That's somebody. But you might like it. So,
um,
okay, that's me then. I'll take
what
it.
do
I'll
I
buy
think?
it.
I think it's I don't know. I think it's demonic. I think it's totally demonic. Um, I think that would be, if human beings would know how to respect, boundaries, and how to use things just for good, that would be maybe something good, because we can actually uh, that can actually help, like, for example, the editing process. You could speed it up if you have, like, the AI. So if there are people that have, let's just say, maybe mm, health issues, and they cannot do certain tasks, perhaps the AI can help with that. So that would be a positive side. But unfortunately, because humanity usually most humans beings don't use things for good, right? So I am very scared of that. And actually, I think that that's not going to be used for good. And I think that if we use AI and all of this stuff, we would probably lose what's the most important thing about art is that the artist, right? So if there is no artist, there is no actual art. I mean, it would even be difficult to define what is art if you don't have the artist. I mean, what is actually art if you don't have
Mhm.
the original artist doing that, if you have a machine doing that? So yeah, everything is like changing. And I want to say something actually regarding the AI, because um, it was also used on Spotify platforms, and it's been used quite a lot in the recent years. So there are fake like accounts. I don't even know if they are fake or maybe they are like someone is controlling those accounts, but it's just all all music AI generated. And the most disturbing thing about Spotify, and the reason why I left, so I removed all my music from Spotify, is that the CEO of Spotify not only is not paying, artists, it doesn't pay, a decent um, salary, to artists. Not only that, but he took all the money that he earns from Spotify and invested the money into AI warfare. So after
Well,
knowing that, I obviously removed myself from the platform, and I thought that almost all the artists would have done that, but they didn't. So yeah, I made my own conclusions about the music industry and what people are willing to do just for the sake of being, um, you know, recognized as an artist or for exposure. So for me, art is something sacred, is something mystical, is something at least it should be something used for good. So I don't want to have my music on a platform if I know that the CEO is using even just a penny of my of what he's making out of my music, and he's using it for AI warfare weapons. And because I mean, obviously I'm not saying that I can't um, compromise on anything, because in life there are things you need to compromise, right? But I can't compromise on that. I don't support warfare. I don't support weapons. So that's my viewpoint, anyways. And I care much more about the integrity and what my brand values are, rather than just being on a digital platform because everyone is there. Well, I'm not.
what was it like collaborating with Lloyd Price of The Friction on your EP Loving the Alien?
Hmm. Yeah. So regarding that collaboration, actually, that was great. It was fantastic, because I imagine the song as a uh, synth pop, I would say, arrangement. So that's how I saw that that song. I wanted to rearrange that song in that way. Then Loy comes and does a completely different thing, a more Gary Newman like approached arrangement, very industrial, very different. Um, and yeah, Lloyd is great. It was fantastic to collaborate with him, and everything went very was very smooth. So there were no issues at all whatsoever. I didn't even have to explain to him what I wanted and how I wanted, the sound, because really everything that he does, I really like everything, when he produced the music. So I and he's also very quick when he does that. So I sent him the stems, and then he produced the song in his own recording studio, and that was like, it went really well. Lots of great numbers for that streaming for the Lovingly and remix. We were meant to also work together on a full album, and I'm actually working on this album. Um, I've started working what was it, last summer? Yeah, in July, even before July actually. So I have 14 songs ready, ready as a demo, not like ready. But I have these 14 songs, and I asked Lloyd to, if you want. Well, actually, he asked me if we could like collaborate in doing an album together. I said, yeah, obviously, of course. But then he said that he was gonna be too busy with his new business. So actually, we are not right now collaborating at this album. So I'm not quite sure if I am going to do the album myself, or if I will do like a few songs with him when he's free, and he can perhaps rearrange them, and do his own version of the music. It's interesting, to have another perspective, someone else doing something different with your songs is really interesting. But I think for my new album, this new album, I'm doing something
Mm.
very, I would say, how can I explain this? Well, I can't really tell you everything, but I think with this new album, I will show a more spiritual side of myself. So it
Mhm.
would be more spiritual, more soul centered rather than about the sound. It would be more about the meaning of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're so talented that you're able to just get inspired. Can you share any upcoming projects or releases you're excited about, especially for 2026?
Yeah. So currently, I am doing a live online concert for the Weirdesville Festival,
Mm.
and that would be on my YouTube channel. And it's an acoustic set where I play the guitar, and so it's completely unplugged. Okay,
Mhm.
so no jacks, just a normal microphone, to record, nothing
Mhm.
else. And I thought that I wanted to do something more uh, minimalistic, more intimate for that. And I'm also wearing a fantastic red dress, which is very unusual because I always wear black. So I
Mhm.
really recommend people to watch that video, okay? Because it's not something that happens quite often. Maybe once in 10 years, okay? I can wear red. So go and watch that video, okay? Weirdsville Festival. And another event that would be HMV Store in Leeds, and I think that's
Wow.
in May. Um, it's a free event, okay? Also, the Wearsville
HMV,
event.
the record store, they're all gone here. Canada, they're all gone. We don't have any more.
Oh, yeah, that's very bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Lots of stores are closing, and that's because people don't buy records anymore as they used to,
No,
whereas
but
they
there are
should buy
still
more records, right?
but there are some still solid audiophiles out there who literally go into vinyl record stores and buy old
Yeah.
vinyl and yeah.
Yeah, that HMV, they had my records in store, and so that's how I also sold some of my physical copies of music thanks to them. So they will probably store more of my physical copies of music, like these ones that I showed you before. They already said they will take one, and I don't know if you have like the All That I Need and images of that.
Maybe I
Have
should
you
get
ever?
into. Maybe I should get myself a record player because I gotta admit the sound is actually a lot better. You know.
It's much better. You wouldn't believe what's the difference. It's like unbelievable how different it is. So they had this one in store, images of that, whi- which I also, produced by myself. Everything, also the design, artwork, everything, everything, everything. Okay. The only thing that I didn't do, I didn't print them. Of course, it's a printing company, and this is all that I need. So they had these two as well in store, and I sold all the copies. So obviously it's good, to have the support of a local store in this case, because they can advertise and they can help you to sell the copies, obviously. So I will do that. I think it's in May. People can check out the event page, which is on my website stellawembley.com. It's actually the touring page, and go on next events, and they will find all the events there. And so it's totally free. They can come and obviously support the music. And I will be recording new singles. So probably on in November, end of November, there will be a new single out.
Okay.
And yeah, hopefully it will be out.
Just
And yeah,
make sure you just send me all the links so I can add them as we go.
yeah, obviously. So that's called God Show Me the Way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new single that I have recorded, and obviously it's very spiritual. And there is another one that I've just written. I'm not sure if I will release that after this one. It is in Latin, and it's titled Spiritus Dami Gloriam. And there are other songs as well. Obviously, as I said, 14 songs. I think that I will wait until I have all the songs ready, just to have like a full album out. And maybe I will release two singles for the audience. And also, yes, I said there is the jewelry as well that I'm doing. So if any brand wants to collaborate with me on this, I will be more than happy to do that. And there is also another concert, but it's a private one, because it's a live concert with children that I do as a teacher. So obviously, for safety of the children, it cannot be advertised, but that will be also in November. So that's another thing that I'm doing, and I've been preparing all the kids from three different schools, plus the two kids that I am doing, one-to-one lessons. So yeah, that's a lot of work,
Mm-hmm.
but it's fantastic. It's really fantastic that I'm living the dream, I would say.
What advice would you give to aspiring musicians and artists looking to break into the industry?
Never give up is the first advice. And I know that it's easy to say, but it's really just keep going. Just keep going, no matter how many difficulties, no matter how many disappointments, no matter how many times you fail. There are always, these are lessons for you. So you learn from, your mistakes, if you have, made any mistakes, because you can't control everything. So sometimes it's just a matter of being at the right time, on the right place, and meeting the right person. Sometimes just never give up. And I would say, don't be afraid to try new things, because if you don't try new things, you never know if something else is going to work. And also, I would say, never compromise on things if you don't want to compromise on those things, because mental health is much more important. And just really have fun. Do what you love is the most important thing, to enjoy the process. love what you do is the first thing, and then obviously have self-love and self-respect. So I know that music is important, for artists and musicians wants to make it, but for me there are things you shouldn't compromise. You always have to remember your worth and how much you worked to get to a certain point, and don't be afraid to ask for a salary that you think is the right one for you. So don't be afraid to set your own rates. Know your value, know your worth, and know that you are powerful every day, even when you don't feel powerful. Sometimes you need to pretend. Just pretend, when you don't feel powerful, just pretend you feel powerful.
I know what you mean. I
Yeah.
know
What do you
exactly.
think? What would be? I'm interested, because you meet so many artists, you meet so many musicians. So, in your opinion, what would be like another important thing for artists to take into consideration when they are making their first steps, or maybe they are halfway in their journey, let's just say.
Thank you, Stella. I really
You're
appreciate you on
welcome.
the podcast. Everyone, Queen Stella Wembley, it's graced our platform.
My pleasure.
You know, do the whole Queen thing.
Encantada, encantada, encantada.
Yeah. So really appreciate you being on the podcast, everyone. All her links will be linked down below. Her music, and hopefully we can get more links to put down there. And
Mhm.
yep. Okay, everyone. Thank you for watching. We're gonna end the stream. Wait, right there, Stella. Bye, everyone. Bye,
Thank
Stella.
you. Thank you so much, Chris.
You're very welcome.
Bye.